Hello, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome again, once again, to All Hands on Deck. I'm Ira J. Ackery, and I am your host. The co-host is not in today. She's on a special assignment, and that is Doris Davenport. But we welcome you. We welcome you to call in. We want to hear from you. The number here at the studio is 312-738-1060. We will hear from Reverend Marshall Hatch. He will call in and he will talk about the 1,000 Ministers March in Washington, August the 28th, where 1,000 faith leaders from across the nation will come together to commit and for many of us to recommit to this cause of justice. These are perilous times, and we are being challenged on every hand. People want to take us back. They want to take us back to the antebellum years, but we got to fight back. I heard Reverend Jesse Jackson say before that deep waters won't drown you if you can kick, and we've got to kick. We got to keep on fighting. We got to keep on pushing. We want to talk about some serious issues. One real question is this, and you guys heard a lot of talk in the media about this particular football player, this quarterback. He's caused us all to do a lot of thinking, and we certainly want to make sure that we get some input from you guys. We want to talk about, number one, is it unpatriotic for blacks to not stand during the national anthem? Is it unpatriotic? That's a serious question, because many people beat up African Americans because they push back or they have some reservations about claiming that this country is so great and all of that. So is it unpatriotic? Because others are saying, well, it's not a perfect world. But nevertheless, you're still here, and you must take ownership and not complain. I hear so many stories. I really can't make the case why blacks should be labeled as unpatriotic. I cannot make the case. I do know that it is very unpatriotic, considered by so many people, very unpatriotic when blacks don't stand. Is the NFL owners in their right when it appears, come together and blackball a guy like Colin Kaepernick? I mean, it seems like they have come together and they have pushed him out of the league because of him not standing for the national anthem. Is this stance that Kaepernick has taken, has he done the right thing? How about this? Is the stance that the NFL owners, the one that they have taken, what's your thought? Are they being racist, or are they just good businessmen trying to protect their business enterprise? That's my question to you. Now, I'm going to the calls, and then I'm going to come back with some of my thoughts, some of my statements. But I want to hear from you. What's your thought about Colin Kaepernick? He's being punished, it seems like, for exercising free speech. We're going to the line. Caller, welcome to the show. State your comment nice and loud.
Yes, sir. Listen, about that quarterback. If you're patriotic, if you're an American citizen, you were taught to stand up when the national anthem was played. Now, just because this guy's black and he's only half black, he's half white also, this quarterback. Maybe it's because he's not good enough to play first string, and maybe that's why the owners don't want him on the team. But this is hard. And you're right. This is a hard way to go either way. I'm
Yeah.
Mexican American, and I wasn't always treated right. But this is my country. I fought for my country in Vietnam. So when that flag goes up, I go up, and my hand goes
Now
up.
I don't know what race you are, but he's an African American, and in this country, blacks have been enslaved and have had to deal with
There you go.
inequality. No, you said there I go. That's his reason for not standing.
You wanted to show
He's not. Wait, let me just tell you. He's not standing because he don't have nothing else to do. He's standing because this is what he believes. That's what he believes.
Let him believe it.
Okay, so you salute him for standing up for what he believes.
Okay, and what do you believe? What do you stand up for?
Well, I'm going to get to that in a minute, but this is my show. Let me hear from you guys first. I thank you for your call. I appreciate it, okay? All right. Anybody else? We want to hear from you. We want to hear from you. Some of you responded on Facebook. The number here is 312-738-1060. A lot of people are responding on Facebook, but if you want to call, you can call right now. What do you think? What is it? First of all, people are saying that he should do whatever he wants to do. Okay? But he's being punished for it, right? But also, others are saying the owners should be able to do what they want to do. And guess what? The truth of the matter is that's a case that could be made. That they're businessmen, and it's all about the money for them. But I also want to say this to you. Slavery was about money. I mean, it wasn't just that whites or Caucasians just got a kick out of having people cook for them and things of that nature and have people work in their fields. No. The point was people were working for free. They were cooking for nothing. They were driving for nothing. It was free labor. It was free labor. And so slavery itself was all about money. You understand? So when people talk about leave them alone, it's not racist because it's all about money. Well, let me tell you, slavery was all about money. And the thing about it, the real issue is that if you had black skin, it qualified you and made you being castigated and classified as chattel slavery. A lot of people, I was on the Fox News website the other day, and I was getting attacked. I was getting beat up, man, because I was trying to give some analysis on this issue. And some people were saying, whites have been slaves in this country. They talk about the Irish were slaves. And that really is the most ridiculous, stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life. Okay, that may have happened in other countries, but we are talking about America. We're talking about singing the national anthem. We're talking about, oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light. We're talking about America. We're talking about I pledge allegiance to the United States of America. One nation under God, indivisible, which it stands. We're talking about America. You know, black and African Americans, it's the only race that has ever been enslaved as a people. Now, you may have some whites who were indentured servants. Indentured servants are much different than chattel slavery. It's much different. A slave and an indentured servant is two different things. Chattel slaves, it was involuntary. Indentured servants, sometimes you were punished, and you end up having to work out your penalty as an indentured servant. Or if you owed a debt, you could be an indentured servant. Or you can voluntarily be an indentured servant for low wages. But no pay Jose for chattel slaves. Are y'all hearing me today? The guy said that perhaps that Kaepernick is not good enough to be in the NFL. I don't know about that. They went and got Jay Cutler. Jay Cutler is a bomb. Jay Cutler is ridiculous. I mean, they went and got him out of retirement from a Fox network job and gave him a $10 million contract without even giving a phone call to Colin Kaepernick. Jay Cutler received a $10 million contract. And Colin is a phenomenal guy. I mean, he's a great backup quarterback with skills. He has the skills. I want to tell you this much. We got a caller on the line. Caller, welcome to the show. I want to hear what you got to say. We're talking about patriotism, and when African Americans reject the flag, what does it really say? Does it make a statement about them being unpatriotic? What's your question? What's your comment? What's your statement? What's your response?
Hi, my comment is actually more so about Colin Kaepernick's situation, specifically about where other athletes are, where other African American minority athletes are standing behind him. I recently saw a picture where they compared a picture of Muhammad Ali sitting with several of his other African American athletes behind him. So I'm wondering what your thoughts are on why other
Hang on the line. This young lady, she wants to know, unlike the other callers, she wants to know, where are the other African American athletes? Because back in the day, when a person took a stance like this, like Muhammad Ali and Jim Brown, other African American athletes would stand up. I hear you, my sister. They are being very quiet. You can almost hear a proverbial pin drop. I really appreciate that comment. But I can tell you this. When you take a stance like this and you get penalized by the owners of the NFL, honestly, you can see why many of these athletes are afraid to step up. But I can say this much, and I want you to continue. I believe that many of the average players and subpar players may be a little bit more nervous about stepping up. But the superstars can speak up because they're going to make sure that you have a place to play and you're going to have a position on the roster. That's a fact. So superstars can speak up. It was very risky for a mid-range player like Colin Kaepernick to take a chance and stance like this. Thank you for your call. You have one more comment?
Oh yeah, just want to say I agree with you completely about that part of it. If all of the big star athletes that are African Americans stood behind him, I'm very sure that the NFL would soon turn around their stance on it. So thank you.
All right, thank you very much. I want to make a quick plug. This coming Saturday, Greater St. John Bible Church and the Austin Empowerment Coalition presents the Austin Community Festival, Saturday, August the 12th, 10 a.m. to 5 o'clock p.m. Free food, fun, games, comedy, stepping, clown, music, line dancing. Can you step? I want to know if you can step. Can you step? Can you step? We're going to have some face painting going on. And guess what else going to take place? The Double Dutch bus coming down the street. Yeah, let me stop. The double dutch. We're going to have a double dutch contest. Y'all bring them hula hoops out there. Let's see what you got going on. And also, we're going to give away thousands of dollars. 25 students are going to get at least $500 or $1,000 that we've come together to give to encourage students. Welcome to All Hands on Deck. Caller, you are on the line. Welcome to the show. Speak up, caller.
Hey, Reverend Ackery, how you feeling? This is Marcel Jackson.
Marcel Jackson, Action Jackson, how are you today, my friend? So glad to have you call in. You are doing some great work on the west side of this city, and you are one of the fastest growing entrepreneurial businesses in the West Garfield area. Welcome to the show. Tell me how you feel.
I feel good. Thank you for having me, first of all. But I called in to talk about, the injustices that Colin Kaepernick is facing right now with the NFL, and how I believe that as a community, if they don't do something with him right away, we need to boycott the NFL.
Now, hello, this young man says that this is a major disrespect. It's an injustice. And if the owners do not speak up or change their position, then we should boycott the NFL. Now, let me ask you this, Marcel Jackson. I've been looking at those stadiums, and all I see are mostly Caucasians. How can we really, number one, boycott when most of those tickets we didn't buy? And then number two, how can you really have a sustained boycott for 16 games through a whole year? Is that realistic?
Well, it's realistic because one thing that we might not be in the stands, but I'm sure a lot of our TVs are tuned in. And the NFL makes a lot of its money through advertising. And so that's the first thing, to not watch it and to not buy tickets, because we see things happening in the NFL where some of these players are committing crime. They're in trouble for domestic disputes with their spouses. They're setting up dog fighting rings. They're fighting their girlfriends.
Sure.
He didn't commit a crime.
He did not commit a crime.
Voiced his opinion. And this is when we're taught in this country that we had the freedom of speech. This is America. But this man stood up for what he believes in, and this is the disrespect, the injustice that he has to face.
Well, what do you think about the fact that you hear people saying that he has a right for the right to exhibit his freedom of speech, but also the owners have a right? Some people are saying, in fact, this is not even racist, it's about money. What's your response to that? When they say this is just about them trying to take care of their business, they don't want any distractions.
Well, you know what? We all have rights, and we have a right as a people and as a community to stand up and say, listen, right is right, wrong is wrong, regardless of, owners' right. We have a right not to support it. We have a right to withdraw. The one thing
you are breaking up. You're breaking up. We're gonna have to have you come back again. We're gonna have to have you in the studio. We got like the lines are lit up. Action Jackson, if you can call back in, we'll get you on. But we're gonna go on to another call because it's so fuzzy with your line. Caller, welcome to the show. All hands on deck. How do you feel about this?
All right, Reverend Ackery, Reverend Darius Randall calling in.
Minister Darius Randall, how you doing, sir? How do you feel about this? I'm going to ask you straight. Is it unpatriotic for black people not to stand during the national anthem being sang? This is our country, right?
Well, I think when you look at what they believe and what they...
Can you speak up?
Well, I look at from what they believe and what they want black people to stand for the anthem. They want us to sing the patriot songs, but if we're not feeling it, we're not feeling it, because there has to be a level of freedom of speech, as we say. We have a First Amendment right to address our issues and concerns and Colin Kaepernick felt the need to address his issues by protesting the national anthem.
Well, let me ask you this, Minister, because we love every time you call and you have something substantive to say. How can we respond to show our support and to be dismissive of the rhetoric that people who stand up for equality, how can we make our statement?
Well, first, in defending Colin Kaepernick, we have to also be mindful of the fact that he's not a scrub. He led the San Francisco 49ers to the Super Bowl in his first year as a starter. And he did a phenomenal job as their quarterback. That's number one. And then number two, moving forward, we have to influence and encourage African-American players, past and present, that we need to start owning these teams. We need to own us an NFL team.
We got to hold the NFL accountable, and there you just listed many ways that we could do so. Thank you for calling in, Darius. We got to go, man. The lines are jammed. Caller, welcome to the show. Ira J. Ackery on all hands on deck.
Hi, Pastor Ackery. This is Onisha from Greater Faith First Baptist in Waukegan, Pastor Jordan.
All the way from Waukegan. How you doing?
I'm good. You know what? I've grown up going through grade school, grammar school, high school, and to me, it's just a respect for the flag, for the anthem, to God. It's just you standing for what you believe is right. So I think if you're going to stand in church for the word of God, when a preacher preach, stand when they're doing the Pledge of Allegiance, stand when they're doing the national anthem or respect to the flag and to God. That's just a matter of respect.
You think it's a matter of respect? Well, the same thing. Some people have an issue with that because of the contradictions and the hypocrisy that's associated with the anthem and the flag. Because it says, I pledge allegiance unto the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Many people see so much racism, so many injustice. They see the prison population dominated with African Americans, and they see the wealth gap continuing to broaden, and they see in our neighborhoods second-class schools and first-class prisons being built, and they see economic boom, nice jobs and flourishing careers in white neighborhoods, and people just have problems trying to embrace that we have one nation under God where everybody is getting access to the tree of life. Thank you so much, Anisha. We got another call. All right. We lost that last caller. So if anybody wants to call in real quick, you got time right now. But I just want to say we've had some phenomenal callers today. We had some very good information being dispersed, and we got to do this again. I want to make sure that we follow up on this next week because we need to see where this is going. We need to see what's really going to happen with the NFL owners and what are the African American athletes going to do. Bottom line is, if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. And also, in life, we as a people, the only way we've gotten anything in this country, we have always had to fight for it. When we got freedom in 1865, we had to fight. Blood was shed. When we secured the right to vote, we had to fight for it. We had to protest. Our forefathers had to go to jail, and many people died. When we secured civil rights legislation, it was because people who were older than us, they had to suffer on our behalf. And as we move forward and having equity in education and a level playing field economically, it's going to take a fight. And I tell you, we never lost a battle that we fought, and we never won a battle until we fought it. We're going to keep on pushing. We're going to keep on fighting. And it's going to take everybody from all of the institutions. We need all hands on deck. See you next week.